We are here to talk about a film that you picked on Momitu. I asked you to go on the platform and say, pick a film. And of course, you had to pick one of yours.
Yeah.
And not just one of yours, but like the coolest doc that I've ever watched. So I am so happy that you did. But you chose, and I'm going to let you say it because it's a long title. But what are we reviewing today?
So today we're reviewing Unearthed and Untold, The Path to Pet Sematary. It is our only documentary under the Terror Films releasing banner. And our VP of Tech Operations, Brad Geisler, shout out, did some of the editing on it. And it's one of our oldest titles as well. We've had it since before I got there.
Yep.
And I was already a big Pet Sematary fan going into it. So I just was like so excited that we had it when I first came on board. And
Yeah, I mean, I already told you that I hate you for picking it because not only docs are very difficult to review, first and foremost, because you can't really do a spoiler-free review on a doc because the doc's about something. It's usually about something you already know. And obviously, we know Pet Sematary.
Mhm.
You made me watch it again. I had to watch the doc, but then I had to go back and watch Pet Sematary again because it's been so long. And I'm so happy that you did because it's a love-hate thing going on at this point because no, it's interesting and you obviously just recently mentioned that you're pregnant, which is amazing. But I will say that it's been a long time since I've watched Pet Sematary.
Probably before you had kids.
Well before, because I have a 3-year-old. So it's been a long time since I've watched Pet Sematary. To revisit it as a parent, wow.
Yeah.
Hits a little different.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But I want to say though, like we're not going to do a Pet Sematary review here because we can't. That's going to take way too long. But I loved this doc. But I want to give your first takes on it, just because you know the title much better than I do.
Mhm.
What are kind of your first takes on the doc itself?
I was already a huge Pet Sematary fan when I first watched this. This wasn't something I watched just being a part of terror. I loved it because I was able to. There were some things that I already knew about the making of the film, but there was so much that I didn't. And this doc is very special because got it's got pretty much the entire cast, with the exception
Yeah.
of Fred Gwynn, who had passed beforehand.
He passed in '93. It's been a while.
I
It's
don't
been a while.
know, but yeah, it's the whole main cast is a part of it.
Yeah.
And so it's just really cool because you're getting so many firsthand accounts of these big time Hollywood actors, but at the same time, you're also getting accounts from random people who just happen to live in Bangor, Maine,
Yeah.
where they shot the film, and they were integral parts of the making of it because, as you find out in the film, um, he really wanted to film in Maine and bring that revenue to his home.
Yeah. And Paramount was not a fan of
Yeah.
them filming there because obviously it was much more expensive.
Yeah.
Maine is very difficult to get to,
Mm-hmm.
especially certain times of the year. They filmed it in a nicer time of the year.
Yeah.
Freezing cold and snowy and icy and all that stuff. But it is still difficult to get there. It's not a place that's normally shot at, so there's no gear there. Like getting materials there to build sets and all those things are very difficult to do. But he had a vision.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they did it there.
Me
Because
too.
it paid homage to so many things. And also one of the things I really enjoyed about just like knowing that fact about like where it was shot and all that stuff is that you can go back there and visit it even to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of fans that like come to like even like Midsummer Scream or whatever other events that are, just out here in LA. And they're like, oh, I can't wait to go to this house and this house and this house. And like, it's cool to like see everyone be like, I need to go in front of this one, even though I can't remember the name of the house, but the person that bought it now, it's all like blocked by bushes and everything.
Oh yeah, the Nightmare on Elm Street house. Yeah.
So, but it's cool to see that, right?
Yeah.
The fact that you could go all the way to Maine
Mm-hmm.
and get to enjoy like just something that is so integral into the horror history.
Definitely.
Like now, it makes me want to go to Maine.
Yeah.
I have a cousin in Maine, so maybe I should go visit my cousin.
Yeah.
You got a little apple farm over there, so I should go check it out.
Yeah.
But I would now like revisiting this, it makes me want to go back and see those places.
Hmm.
It makes me want to go back and see, like, obviously, Stephen King's house,
Yeah.
and like see the bats and like touch one of the bats, like on the wrought iron gates, and hopefully go to the pet cemetery itself, and just it was just a cool breakdown of a film that, and I'm actually surprised, not surprised, but like kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier, is like marketing your film. There's some footage they have that is from back then, right? Like all it, like stuff that has been just in the archives.
Hmm.
They didn't have social media,
Yeah.
and they were still able to get all this footage. Like um there's no excuse for a filmmaker today to not get the footage, right? We
Right.
have so many, like so much access. Like people could just set up their phones and leave it, and just put your phone up, leave it all day, like a backup phone even, and
Hmm.
just leave it on, just playing. Get a
Hmm.
like an hour long piece of content of just like a scene being shot
Hmm.
from like a B roll,
Yeah.
and just use it down the line
Yeah.
if it happens to become a cult classic, whatever. So,
You never know.
um, but I wanted to ask a few questions, at least maybe that could, maybe inspiration that you could maybe lean into, maybe stuff that you may know more about. But how did the filmmakers come up with like the idea? Like, because you obviously know the editor, but do you know the filmmakers as well, like that made this doc?
Um, sort of.
Okay.
They're wonderful guys.
Hmm.
Whenever we've had to work with, it's John Campopiano
Hmm.
and Justin White. They're always really wonderful to work with. They actually, I don't think it's um, released yet, but they are working on or at least John is working on a Jaws,
Oh
um,
wow.
a Jaws documentary called "The Farmer and the Shark." It's about something very specific to do with the making of Jaws. I haven't seen it yet, but I hear all about it, and it looks really, really good. And he also did an It documentary that had to do with the Tim Curry
Yeah.
series. So I really want to see that one as well, especially because this one is so wonderfully done and was done before those two. Um, so we typically just take finished films. I
Hmm.
think what happened is that our editor went in and sort of cleaned it up a
Oh,
bit.
okay, that
Yeah.
makes total sense.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, very well edited. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like an hour and 40 minutes. I mean, it kept me engaged the whole entire time.
Yeah, it's
There
not
weren't any
short.
slow moments.
I agree.
And
I
there's
agree.
so much depth that they went into. What would you describe the feel of the doc though? Like in your words.
Hmm. It's this is going to sound silly, but it's so Stephen King.
Hmm.
I feel like you can tell the filmmakers really understand Stephen King
Yeah.
and his world.
Hmm.
And especially, they clearly had to go to Maine to get a lot of these interviews, to, I'm sure, get a lot of this archived footage. You can tell that they really respect that the film was kept in Maine, and that it's very much a product of, because it's not always the case. Stephen himself adapted the screenplay. So it's him adapting his own novel, um, and then bringing Mary Lambert on as the director. So he's such a huge part of it,
Hmm.
in ways that he may not be as big a part of some of the Flanagan Stephen King adaptations
Yeah.
or things like that. So you can just tell that the filmmakers are fans of Stephen King because it's got that dark feel to it, but yet there's also like a Stand By Me vibe up
Hmm.
to it as well, where it's a lot about the youth of the town, and how innocence can be lost so easily.
Yeah. I mean,
So
I got a big sense of community
yes.
from this, like watching, and just all the stories from all the people that are from the town, even to the the kid who played young Judd,
Yeah. Yeah.
who was like, was pretty young at the time, but he was just a local kid that
Yeah.
just liked to act. Obviously getting to hear all the stuff about Miko, and
Hmm.
all the younger kids that were part of it. But like then hearing like the lady who she's like, oh, I just saw there was an audition. I just happened to show up and they liked me, and then
Hmm.
did that, and but it was all like local people.
Yeah.
They were just like totally wanting to be a part of it. And even to get that beginning story from the woman who she's like, oh my gosh, Like Stephen King's writing a book about, and now like obviously making a movie about my Pet Cemetery.
Yeah.
That was so cool to like
Yeah.
really get that backstory. So it's not just like a story. It was just not just like something that some guy was sitting smoking weed one day and just like came up with a cool story, and then it became a cult classic. Like, no, this is based on some real stuff.
Right, right. And they go into Stephen doing his own research about the burial grounds and
Yeah.
things like that, which not every author is thorough that way. And so I that's another thing I love about this doc is that you're getting stories from everywhere from pre-production
Mhm.
all the way through to the premiere and its reception. So yeah, I like that.
Yeah. What are some lesser known facts that you learned, like just by watching the doc? Like lesser known facts about the making of the film that you
Uh
really enjoyed?
I thought it was really crazy how they built the the Creed house on
Mhm.
one side of the is a full functional house,
Yep.
and then they're the same people own the house on the other side of the street, but they fully rebuilt the facade
Mhm.
of Judd Crandall's house so that they could burn it down at the end,
Isn't that crazy?
which I thought was insane. And then, and even like at the, not to spoil Pet Cemetery, but
Oh, I
it,
don't. At this
it,
point, we're not. Yeah, that's not what we're here to do.
if you're walking, if you're watching it at the end, when Dale Midkiff is walking out of the burning building at the end with his wife's body,
Mhm.
and they said that he got second degree burns
Mhm.
because they had one chance to burn this facade down, and they couldn't hurt anyone, and
Yep.
they couldn't hurt the house behind the facade,
Yes.
and so just even the actor talking about how the pressure to perform was grave because if he messed it up, well, we don't have
There's
a facade to burn anymore.
yeah.
So,
One take shoots are very very stressful, and especially older days. Like now, we can just like CGI something
fix
or
it in
whatever.
post.
Yeah, and just like, or even build it again, do it again.
Yeah.
Like there's just a little bit more. Like maybe there's more funds. I don't know, but like, yeah, one take shoots are very very stressful
Mhm.
for everyone on board.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing multiple double checks of everything to make sure, and then something always goes wrong
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
How do you play off of that? So nowadays, especially, you can set up just like so many different cameras
Mhm.
that even if something just doesn't, whatever, some one side you can use the other side's footage. They even mentioned
Exactly.
that even with like building the house, like
Mhm.
of that one, they're like, oh, we need to redo this overnight. One of the facades of a house, and like,
Yeah.
and then they're like, they did this whole thing overnight. They did all this work, and then they only used like one little tiny little frame of it, and they're just like, "You kidding me? We did all that work." So all those little things are cool. I one thing that stood out to me though was about Miko
Yeah.
and how the studio really wanted to use twins.
Mhm.
And most of the and most people don't know this when you see twins, like even with like a Big Daddy,
Yeah.
right? You don't know they're twins
Yeah.
until it comes out that they are. But like most of the time, they use twins because you can shoot with one while the other one's napping,
Mhm.
and then shoot with the other, and then you can, because there's child labor laws and making sure they can only shoot so many hours a day, and they have to do school and all that stuff. So it's like, I mean, he's obviously 3, but
Yeah.
they just saw so much talent in this 3-year-old,
Mhm.
which is wild because like my son's 3.
Yeah.
I'm just like, that is nuts to see what this kid was able to do at 3 years old.
Mhm.
Pretty incredible. So like for them to stand firm on saying, no, this kid's special. We're
Yeah.
using this kid. We're not bringing in twins to try to just make it work. Or if we
Right.
miss a day, we miss a day. We miss a scene, we miss a scene. That was so cool.
Yeah.
It's very very abnormal, especially at that age. It's always twins.
Yeah. And the other thing I really love about Miko specifically that they talk about in this doc, they're not um they clearly try their hardest um to protect his innocence
Mhm.
and to do it in a way that's not going to hurt him in any way, emotionally, physically, whatever. But they're also very honest
Mhm.
about moments where another actor is giving a very convincing performance and Miko freaks out because he's 3 years old.
Yeah,
He
I
doesn't
remember. Yeah.
know that what's happening is not real. I'm sure they're doing their best.
Yep.
to tell him it's not real, but there's only so much you can do with the 3-year-old. So I kind of like that they're not hiding that either. They're kind of like, we did the best we could. Um, and then when these things happened, we took breaks
Yep.
and catered to him a little bit, which also, like, can't believe they loved this kid so much that they were going to do that for him.
Yeah.
So
I was going to ask you what your favorite like interview was. It sounds like that may be one of your favorite interviews, but
yeah.
just about obviously with Miko and like I would see going after Judd and
Yeah, I
how he freaked
think
out. But
because it comes specifically from I think it's Lance Anderson. Funny enough, Heather Langenkamp's father-in-law.
oh, really?
That's another thing you learn in the
I
doc
don't know if
is
I picked
that
up on that. So,
no, you're good. So Heather Langenkamp was like she would come to set
mhm.
because her at the time boyfriend, now her husband, was helping his father in the makeup department
Yes. Okay.
on set, and so that's why she's in the doc as well. But Lance Anderson, who was head of the makeup, was doing the makeup for Judd's neck, and yeah, just the how kind of he's like it's a funny story in hindsight, but at the time it was very heartbreaking because Fred Gwynn is giving this incredible performance,
Mhm.
and it just terrified Miko. So I loved hearing that from the makeup artist's perspective of how he was like, we were so proud of what we did, and Fred Gwynn's killing it. Um, but yeah, that was probably one of my favorite interview moments.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree. There were so many,
yeah,
and this is like the one thing that brings to my mind is that we're talking a lot about a lot of different moments of this doc. There are so many more bits of information that we're not even touching on.
doesn't even scratch the
I
surface.
mean, there's so much about Pet Cemetery in this that I mean is phenomenal. Even to like something I didn't know when I was, when the first time I watched it, I was a lot younger, was that Stephen King's in it.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I don't know what he looks like, but that's really cool because I didn't. I mean, I'm not a big reader, so I didn't like see it. I didn't see it. I never read Pet Cemetery.
right,
I'm
right.
a big movie watcher, not a in a. If I'm gonna, if my this or that was book or a movie, like
Mm-hmm.
always the movie.
Always the movie.
Always the movie. I'm all visual. Like I've read a few books here and there. Like I do like some good books. Like read all the Lord of the Rings stuff, and then but like still, I enjoy the movie way better than
Yeah,
reading it.
fair enough.
Maybe it's just my ADD or whatever. I don't know what's going on, but
I
I
get it.
can't sit forever. I usually get to a point where I'm reading a book,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll just I don't know what I read. I have to go back and read the whole page again. I'm just like, oh man, like
Yeah,
I
I,
zoned
I
out
have to do
again.
that too.
Yeah.
I am an avid reader. That's book or movie is probably the hardest this or that anyone could ever give me, to be honest.
I'll have to bring it back.
But yeah, Mr. Chance.
21 questions. We'll add one more. No, but so this film, this doc, obviously you can find it on Momi too. If something is, let's go to the first part. This person has never seen Pet Cemetery. Okay,
Mhm.
the person that we're giving as an example. Should they watch the doc first or the film first?
Ooh, watch the doc first. That's not normally what I would say,
Mm-hmm.
but I agree with what you said at the beginning of this, that it really makes you want to watch the movie.
It really did,
Yeah, it really
and
makes
I'd
you want
already
to
seen
watch
it,
it.
so it's
Yeah.
like I was like, I hate you. I have no time to watch this, but I have to.
Cuz it just really gets into all of the themes while still being fun to watch,
Yeah,
and it's entertaining whether you've seen it or not, I think.
and who's gonna really enjoy this doc?
Definitely horror fans, like
Mm-hmm.
classic horror fans, because I think even if you're someone who loves horror classics and this is one that is maybe a blind spot for you, um, that it's again, it's going to give you a better picture
Mm-hmm.
of what movie making was like at that time. It's a female director, which was not as popular
Yep,
at that point in time.
she almost
And
didn't get the job because of that.
yeah, which is crazy.
The studio was kind of forcing someone else down
Yeah,
their throat, and they're like, no, she's the one.
yeah. And she kills it. She does
100%.
such a great job. So it's just, there are a lot of moving parts to this one that, in my opinion, make up a good horror classic.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that lovers of classic horror films, Halloween, Friday the 13th, any franchise or Stephen King fans in particular,
Yeah,
because there's a lot about him in this.
true. I'll even take it a step further.
Mhm.
For someone that does not like Pet Sematary, because of the fact that it has to deal with child death, and like that, it's a very tough topic. There was a big movement of people that were like, no, like this is not something that can be promoted or made famous because of that.
Mhm.
I'll even say go watch the doc,
Yeah,
because I think it gives so much backstory and clarity
and
to like in
context.
context to why this was made.
Yeah.
And it's not just a story you watch and you're just like, because I will say, if I had just watched Pet Cemetery for the first time
Mhm.
and then didn't even see the doc or anything and just watched it for the first time as a dad of a 3-year-old, I mean,
Yeah.
it's like literally in the heart of it. It hit me,
Mhm.
and I would have been like, I don't know if I could
It's
watch.
hard.
I don't know if I could watch the rest of this. Like, it was a tough watch
Yeah.
because it just puts in that personal moment. I will say though, if I watch the doc, I'm like, oh, like it just brings so much more clarity, so much more backstory that you're like, okay, I get why they did this. I
Yeah.
get why this story needed to be made. And even though it was a really hard, like they mentioned in the sleeve of the book, like where this is something that even scared Stephen King to write,
Mhm.
it needed to be made. Because
Yeah.
there's certain topics that we just don't talk about enough in life. And this is something that like sadly happens.
Mhm.
And we should talk about it more. Obviously he did a horror spin on it. So it's really kind of cool that,
Yeah.
you know,
And
but
it's also the aspect of it that like a lot of people like to crap on other horror films because why would this person do this?
yeah.
Well, I think you can very easily get on Dale Midkiff's character's side, even though he's making decisions that are crazy,
Yeah.
because he's just lost his 3-year-old to a very devastating accident that him and his other young child and his wife witnessed.
Yeah.
Um, so just for instance, this is a Pet Cemetery remake spoiler.
Yep.
But the big thing they changed in the remake is that the older child gets killed instead of the 3-year-old. And while I have no idea what their motivations were behind it, it is it's a little harder to believe.
Well, I think the reason why is because of all the people that again were against
Yeah.
the young child dying,
Yeah.
and it's such a tough
It is
story
tough.
to grab. Um, any age,
A
but
hundred
especially a
percent.
3-year-old,
Yeah.
and like everyone witnessing it and everything. So again, that's probably why that was changed.
Yeah.
But maybe I don't
Yeah.
know.
But it's just
Maybe there needs to be a documentary about the remake. I don't know.
maybe. And I think the documentary talks a lot about that,
Yeah.
about motivations of characters and why they do the things they do.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, go check out Unearthed and Untold, the making or
The path.
the path to Pet Cemetery. It's a long one. Just type in Pet
Just
Cemetery.
type in Unearthed and Untold.
Just type in the word
It's good.
Unearthed on Momi2, or
Yeah.
just go to the Terror Films collection and you can find it right in there. Thanks for spending your time with us today on the More For Me and You podcast. If you've made it to the end, we appreciate you. Now, go do us a quick favor. Please like, comment, and share this episode. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode with the incredible guests we have coming up. You can also follow us at Momi2 Podcast on Instagram and on TikTok. Oh, and for your next movie night, check out the Momi2 app. It's free and packed with amazing movies and shows you've probably never seen. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you in the pod.